Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you the piece of footage. You may have seen it, you may not have. I know it's going viral on social media at the moment. The two white students at Arizona State University sitting down at campus, minding their own business, when they get accosted by two entitled young women from Diversity Street, most likely scholars. One of these boys says himself that he works 60 hours because his mum's poor. This is in response to the young ladies from Diversity Street accusing them of having privilege and all the rest of it, and they end up bullying these two white men, young white students. They end up bullying them off. They bully them away, mainly because of this here, the Police Matter or Police Lives Matters sticker one of them has on his laptop, which triggers the young ladies from Diversity Street, of course, and just the crap that they both come out with, the two women. Just, it shows you there's problems in society, and it only takes a little bit of foresight to look forward and see the different stops that are awaiting us all, because we're on that track, we're on it. Anyway, let's get into this video. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and share this video around. Thank you very much to my now 4 members of the Hoggcast. For those of you that want to become a member, there's a link in the description below and a button, the join button, which is next to the subscribe button. If you value my commentary enough to become a member, that is something that just humbles me beyond belief. So thank you to my members, and let's go. Okay, so as usual, we will watch the infuriating piece of footage uninterrupted, and then afterwards I will stop it and start again, and then stop it intermittently to make the points that I feel I need to make. And there is a lot of points I need to make. A real lot. So if you feel like you're alone a lot of the time, you think, like you're the only person who has any common sense left in the world, listen to what I've got to say after, and I promise you, you'll probably feel better.
What did I do wrong?
You have a better.
You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker as the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. Yeah, you just said we have to leave.
No, I said.
You're making the
Your
space
sticker makes me feel
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No.
No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyways, this is the violence that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this shit.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time and you can find somebody to kick me out.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalization.
So clearly don't.
That I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus.
What, and you can't? What are you talking about? Sorry, I know we said we'd watch it, and then I would say what I have to say afterwards when we play it again, but I just had to. These two women are just so. They're just too far gone.
Centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
I'm not racist. I'm studying.
Oh, you're not.
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because police. That's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
What a stupid thing to say. And if you notice, they're always loud and belligerent, and these are people who have never been told no in their entire life. I want candy. Give me candy. I want this.
Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that shit, which means that you're racist.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to defend you guys.
I know, but
And there we go. He's apologised. He's apologised to them, even though they are the ones attacking him. That's, if you're talking at peak anything, that's peak 2021. That's peak postmodernism. White people get attacked by people on Diversity Street. White people end up apologising to their attackers. We keep seeing it. It happens again and again and again.
But this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right?
You kill people like you.
So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
A stupid thing to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
So why should that bother you?
Because, do you understand that Police Lives Matter was in response to Black Lives Matter?
I pay the same fucking tuition as you.
Yep.
Hold on, but
Yeah, that's
But
fine,
you
and you have everywhere. You have.
I'm working 60 hours a week while going to school because my parents don't just give me money.
It doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Just unbelievable, innit? How shit. Just. It's just. How do you talk to someone like that? Someone who is so convinced that you're the racist that they can't see their own racism. Right? I don't think they want to see it. They're just so stupid. These people are stupid. Really stupid. Anyway, look, I'm going to start it again. We'll play it again. I'll stop it intermittently and make the points that I feel I need to make. Okay, let's check this out.
You have a better.
You're offensive. Police Lives Matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. Yeah, you just said we have to leave.
No, I said.
You're making the
You
space
said it makes me feel
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
But
So these two young women who do not own this space, they have declared it as theirs, and by theirs they mean it is a safe space for people from Diversity Street. That's segregation. If you've said that this space here exists only for people that look like me, that's segregation. Okay? Those people that look like X go over there. The people that look like Y, they've got that room. And the people that look like a Z, they've got this room. And when one or the other intermingles, all of a sudden there's a huge problem. That's apartheid. That's segregation. That is something that is not going to end up in a good situation. Trust me.
you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No.
No, it's not a culture.
Yes, it is. Of course, white culture is a thing. That's what he means. Like a black culture is a thing, and every other. The fact that these two young women from Diversity Street have said that they, in a roundabout way, have said that they are in support of segregation. They don't believe that he or his have the right to be a part of a community. Do they sound like good people to you? They're of course, using the left-wing semantics that we're all accustomed with, it's referred to as multiculturalism and safe spaces, but it actually is apartheid and discrimination. That's what it really is. And I've said to you many times in these videos, if you're a regular viewer of mine, we all like to take the piss out of the left, but the one thing the left are very good at is semantics. They are very good at using lovely sounding words that nobody in their right mind would ever disagree with to mask their toxic behaviour and their horrendous ideas.
It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyways, this is the violence that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect.
So this is, you just heard her say that this is violence. So these two young men who are going to have a far better future than her and her friend is, I'm guessing, apparently they're committing, quote, violence, end quote, simply by sitting on their own. They didn't approach the girls, or the hags, I suppose we can call them. they approached the boys. The two girls, who obviously have a huge chip on the shoulder, are obviously incredibly prejudiced against white people. I mean, you can hear it. It oozes out of everything they say.
Protect, okay? This white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this shit.
They think they can get away with what? They're sitting on a chair. They're two guys studying, sitting on a chair. What's wrong?
I'm gonna sit here the whole time, and you can find somebody to kick me out.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave.
We're not kicking you out, we're asking you to leave. Okay, great. One, the space doesn't belong to you anyway. And two, that, again, this is what I mean about semantics. Oh, we're not kicking you out, we're just asking you to leave. Oh, we're not asking you to drink poison, we're just asking you to, and so on and so on. The way that they subtly change wording. And it is something that is so synonymous with the left.
If you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalization.
So clearly don't.
If you had any consideration for anyone that doesn't look like you wouldn't take umbrage at two young men, college students, sitting at a table in your proximity or an area that you've just decided is yours. You could, I'm not sure whether I should say this or not, but you could make an argument that these two women with their poisonous ideas should be denied education, because, and I'll give you my reasons for saying something that could be perceived as quite a strong statement. They are going to leave this college and then go to work somewhere, and they're going to bring bad ideas with them. Okay?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only.
None of it centers them. It's all in your mind, because you are what you accuse them to. And you can see these two boys, they don't even know what's going on. And that should tell you that I'm right. It's all in these two girls from Diversity Street. It's all in their head. This all, this segregation stuff. This is my safe space. What are you doing in my safe space? Get out. It's all in their head. These two boys, they don't know what's going on. They've sat down to do some studying for I should imagine they have a paper that needs to be in by the end of the week. You can tell them the look. He's looking around. What's going on?
Only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
It's peak what BS? She is everything she's accusing him of being. And look, you can see it on his face. He's thinking, what is this? What are you talking about?
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
That there is single-handedly the most moronic statement I've ever heard in my life. Again, regarding the fairly strong statement I said earlier about educating such people, no amount of education is going to fix somebody who's that stupid and whose mind is so poisoned by mainstream media. They can't be fixed. But when they graduate, they'll likely go into the workforce and they will poison other people's minds.
Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that shit, which means
you're protecting the criminals. If you side against law enforcement habitually, I know that sometimes law enforcement or individuals within it can overstep the mark, sometimes by a lot. But she seems to associate the concept of authority with only white people. which should tell you something about the way she sees herself and her own community. Because, and you'd think a college student would know this, Chinese people have police. Even the country, there's plenty of countries out there I'm sure you've never heard of. I'll give you an example. Tajikistan. Have you ever heard of a country called Tajikistan? I mean, I do, of course, but for most of my life, I'd never heard of it. I'll give you another one. Turkmenistan. Uzbekistan. What's my point? All three of these little backwater countries all have police forces. It's not a white phenomenon.
That you're racist.
No, you're racist.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to defend you guys.
See, look, and now this is it. He's apologised, look. He's saying, I'm sorry because they've used the checkmate word. You're an ism, you're an ist. Now he's apologising for sitting down trying to study. Now he's done that, he's going to be in their pockets forever.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us.
You know who else kills people like you and like us? Your own men. You're not allowed to say that. It's like, oh, you can't mention that. And he just looks exasperated. Largely, I bet, because of his friend who apologised. And he's obviously feeling guilty for doing nothing. A part of being a conservative means to have the gift of foresight and pattern recognition. And if we look throughout history, when very bad things, the G word, the H word, where people end up in certain camps, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, it wasn't just one day everything was happy-go-lucky, then the next day everyone was in the you-know-what camps. There were steps along the way, leading from a happy society to a collapsed society where very bad things happen. The steps along the way, and the mentality behind this is one of those steps, and it's not a beginning step either. Right? Balkanization is now happening in the West. Amazing, isn't it, that Western leaders who would have seen over the last 2 or 3 decades what Balkanism does to a country or to a continent would have done all they could to make sure that did not happen. Yet they did all they could to make sure it did happen.
Right? So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
See, look, now they've got the other ones encouraged to come in, look.
Thank you.
So why should that bother you?
Because, do you understand?
Why should that bother you? Because that's what their, I should imagine, scholarship or taxpayer funded course got them. Why should that offend you? You notice he's asked those two girls to explain, why does a simple sticker offend you? Their answer was, because. You know why they did that? Because they don't even know. They don't know why it offends them. They can't articulate it. So all they can do is call you an ism or an ist, label you with 1,000 things, and hopefully you won't then try to ask the question again, trying to get them to explain it, because the left have never been able to explain themselves on anything. It's just attack, attack, attack.
And that police lives matter was in response to Black Lives Matter.
I pay the same fucking tuition as you.
Yep.
Hold on, but
Yeah, that's fine, and you have everywhere.
And who's done more damage? BLM or the police? Look at all the damage that's been done by these 3-letter organisations. Why can you fly the sticker or the banners of an organisation that burnt down and destroyed entire city blocks, but he's not allowed to have a sticker on his laptop that represents law enforcement? Just these two different groups of people, and I mean those there specifically, should just agree to disagree and stop talking, because they are never going to agree on anything. One is pro-police, the other is pro-BLM. They are never going to agree on anything, okay? These people are just too far apart.
I'm working 60 hours a week while going to school because my parents don't just give me money.
Yeah, you see, he said there he has to work 60 hours a week and he still goes to school because his parents doesn't give him money. Whereas these two young ladies would either be on a scholarship or they would have took student debt, student loans. They probably, I should imagine, they don't work at all. It's the same thing we see again and again, and that's the end of the clip anyway. But look, I wanted to show you that, man, because it was really just the way that they think they can just approach you. Because you have to understand that whenever someone does anything, there's a thought process behind it. There's an intent behind it. It doesn't just happen spontaneously. It's like those two women from Diversity Street, fine, upstanding women, of course, you know, the future of America. They obviously thought, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we can get these whites out of here, yeah. Do you understand what I mean? There's no respect, and there's no fear, and there's going to be no consequences. So don't bother them. Anyway, before we leave, there has been an update, so I'll show you the update now. Okay, so the Arizona State University has issued a press statement, University Statement on Multicultural Center viral video. More mealy-mouthed words, meaningless words. The Dean of Students' Office is aware of the disagreement. Now imagine if the boot was on the other foot. This is a favourite game I love to play, and I recommend you all play this game. Whenever you see one of these things happens where one is of one and the other party is of the other, play this little game where you swap the roles around and see what the reaction and response would be. Okay? Because these people who claim, they will shout from every rooftop on planet Earth that they are all about that damned equality, man. All about equality. Yet they fail at the first hurdle because they willingly hold different people from different backgrounds to different standards. That's not equality. So the dean has said there's been a disagreement between a handful of students that was captured in a video. The Dean of Students' Office will be discussing it with all involved. I can tell you straight away what's going to happen there. The young white man who already apologised will apologise again profusely, even though he's done absolutely nothing wrong. This will result in the girls in question feeling buoyed. They'll feel powerful, and they will likely do it again. They'll probably get a GoFundMe, even though they are the perpetrators and not the victims, and things will just carry on the way they've been going for the last 10 years, a slow and steady decline into absolute absurdity. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, please like the video if you found it informative. Subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.